Good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. I just want to read this excerpt from the teachings this morning regarding what's going on in the world. And a lot of people that I have casual conversations with, strangers, friends, there seems to more commonly be a theme of what is going on. There has been so many interesting things that have happened since COVID, a lot of people will say. I think there may have always been crazy things going on in this world as long as we've been recording what's going on. However, a lot of people are saying that what we're experiencing now is nothing like we've ever experienced before. And I can agree with that. With the rise of AI and technology, things are moving extremely fast. And so, in a sense, it seems like the world is getting crazier. And so I think this excerpt here can give a little insight into what is happening on a deeper level than the surface may show. And this isn't really some airy idea. To some of you it may be, but to me this is just very logical in comparison to the other explanations that we've got going on that people are clinging to. So maybe just keep an open mind and hear me out on this. The collective is now going through a paradigm and a schism at once. The paradigm is that things should be as they were, and the schism is that things cannot be, because in some ways all things that you have known have been reknown, but the evidence of it is not fully present yet. So a lot of people have been questioning everything here lately. I mean, a lot of people who were very trusting in the government no longer have the same perspective, just from people that I've talked to. And this can all be subjective and my own personal evidence. So if it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. I've met a lot of people who have left their religions, have changed their political affiliations or beliefs altogether, have begun believing in conspiracy theories that they once put down. Family dynamics changing. And so that's because everything is shifting. So everything that we had known previously is now being put up for question, to be reknown. And the evidence of it is not fully present yet, but we're seeing glimpses of it, as in the examples that I just gave. The metaphor we've used prior, you are dancing to a music on a dance floor, but the music has changed. and you are so used to the old tempo that you continue to bump into one another as you move forward. So perhaps on a deeper level, we are entering a new evolution of humanity, not the same way that suddenly we were walking upright. Perhaps it could be at that level in a few generations where it's a completely different type of human. But for now, we're at the beginning stages, and maybe it's similar to the agricultural revolution or the beginning of religion. And I don't mean in the same way, I just mean in that level of impact in the world. And so we don't realize that that's perhaps where we're at, just in the natural timeline, because that's just how nature works. It changes. Nothing stays the same forever. And so because we don't have that evidence, we're going off of what evidence we do have, which is history. And we're basically dancing to an old tempo, even though the music has changed. And so what's happening is we're bumping into each other a lot as we recalibrate. And in that sort of metaphorically bumping into each other, we're seeing a lot of strange things happening. And part of that is to shake us from that, to wake up and realize that we think things should be as they were, so we're doing the same dance, but they can't be. The music has changed. And so we're bumping into each other because a lot of people are still trying to keep things as they were. Meanwhile, many other people are seeing the glimpses, knowing things differently. Even though it's not fully present, many of us are recognizing that the music has in fact changed. Eventually you realize that the tempo has changed. And that's what many of us are going through right now. We may not realize what the new tempo is, but we realize that it's not the same. Something is different. Maybe it's us internally. The tempo has changed internally. We can take this as what's going on outside in the world, but you can also take this as where you're at in your own personal journey. And as you begin to move into accord to it, that means as you start finding the tempo of the new music, you stop beating each other up, looking for space on the dance floor, stepping upon one another's feet. You simply are, they simply are, and you move in agreement. Okay. This part will be a bit difficult for integrating because it's so different from how we usually see things. We think that if other people would get out of the way, that would make it easier, or I'm not quite sure how to relate this to an experience in the current times that we're in. But imagine that as we move into this new song that's playing, this new music that's playing, we're all finding a dance that doesn't impose a will onto another person. And with that, it's as if everyone is dancing together, like one giant mass of dance partners. So that might be a little bit hard to comprehend, because it was also very hard to explain. But I thought that was just an interesting passage, and a bit different from the typical information that we may be consuming regarding the current state of the world. So if you found that interesting, or not, or if you agree, disagree, or have any questions, I'd love to talk more about this stuff. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.